What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with another episode of Team GLOCK University, and we are going to continue with shooting on the move. But this time, we're going to do shooting on the move forward and to the rear. Now, continuing with what we said when we were shooting on the move left to right and right to left, we want to move in a heel to toe pattern, use our knees as shock absorbers, and also keep our center of gravity low. When we do those three things, that mitigates as much movement in the sight system, whether it be red dot sight, iron sights, as possible. It keeps everything as stable on the target as you can. So I want to run this dry one time just so I understand what that visual is, and then we'll go live with the drill. So start here and move. Good. And you see as I'm moving, my heels are hitting first, heel to toe pattern, my knees, my shock absorbers, and my center of gravity drops whenever I start moving and shooting on the move forward. The sight, very stable, was able to keep it inside of the center of the target. So when we shoot this drill live, I'm gonna shoot each target twice. I've got a hardcover target in the center, so I have to be a little bit more disciplined on that target. So for the first iteration of this drill, we'll do it very controlled movement and controlled shooting, and try to keep everything in the center of the target. Stand by. I did make one mistake in this video, and I hope that you guys are able to see this. Got two alphas here, very controlled. Two alphas here. Now with the hardcover line being here, you can see I'm kind of pushing the sight up a little bit. It gives me more area of target to shoot at. So I try to avoid being down in this area, so a lot of my grouping will be a little bit higher. And then this is my mistake. So first shot here, very controlled. And then I pulled one. And the reason I pulled one, we've talked about it in previous videos, is with the dot, oftentimes because people can see so much that they try to force the gun back to a specific spot. Well, I made that mistake. I tried to force, the dot wasn't where I wanted it, so I tried to force it back here, ended up pulling my shot down here. So remember, when we're shooting optics, especially optics, allow the gun to do its recoil, allow the dot to make its movement, and don't try to force it back to position because it will make its way back there. So let's do this drill again, controlled, and I want to fix this mistake and have all alphas. The group here is good. Had one Charlie that just fell down a little bit, but I accepted it. It's an acceptable sight picture. I didn't pull anything or try to force the dot anywhere, so I called that a good shot. We've got two alphas here, and we're able to fix this target and also shoot two alphas here. So when we're training and we're doing these drills, whatever way you set this up, however you set up your targets, I want you guys to remember to always recognize your mistakes. As things happen throughout the drill, even if you're working on one specific fundamental and something else happens, recognize it and still implement that fix into the drill so that you're not allowing mistakes while working on another skill. So we'll do this drill again, a little bit faster, more aggressive on the movement and more aggressive on the shooting. So let's get reset. That time was a 2.33. So we knocked off 0.7 of a second on our time, and we still had excellent hits. So this is the Charlie from before, from the last run. So we're all alphas here. We are all alphas here, and still all alphas here. So as we're becoming more aggressive, we shoot the controlled movement and the controlled shooting to really understand what the dot is doing, be able to see the patterns of movement, how the dot moves with every step we take, still walking that heel to toe. And then as we become more aggressive, we can start to push that boundary a little bit more to get outside of our comfort zone. So now what I want to do is go over shooting on the move to the rear. There's a little tip that I learned a long time ago that I want to show you guys. So let me reset, reload the mags, and we'll get right to it. The same fundamentals still apply, but there is one thing I want you to do differently. So as you're moving backwards, you would think instead of going heel to toe, you're going to go toe to heel. But when you're doing toe to heel, I want you to maintain contact with the ground. So what I mean by that is, most people will do this, where they're picking up their feet and leaving contact with the ground. What I have learned and recommend is as you start moving to the rear, to keep that toe drag on the ground so I maintain constant contact. Now, I'm still in a toe to heel movement, but I'm not allowing my foot to lift off the ground. Still using other fundamentals, you know, knees are shock absorbers. Body weight is low to the ground, center of gravity is low. But the reason that we want to maintain contact with the ground is in case there's a trip hazard behind you. Say you step on a rock, a stick, a fault line, or any other scenario, there's some sort of debris behind you. There's the possibility that you can flip your ankle, roll your ankle, lose balance. But if I maintain contact with the ground, then I just drag my foot until I hit whatever the debris is, but I've still got two contact points with the ground. It doesn't slow me down in speed at all, but it's an important safety measure. I can maintain contact with the ground, both feet, so if I do step on anything, I don't lose my balance. I'm not falling over or tripping or rolling my ankle. Same 3 targets. We'll shoot 2 shots on each one. Center target, a little less target available, so we're maintaining appropriate control. But notice when I'm moving to the rear, very controlled at first, that you're gonna notice I have the toe drag on the ground. I'm not lifting my foot up with each step to the rear. Stand by. The shots here were good. 2 alphas here on the first target. Again, the middle target, you'll notice I shot 3 shots at it. That is because my second shot was here. I called my shot, realized my mistake, and I put another shot here. Acceptable compromise. I got 2 alpha versus a penalty. So again, that's a good thing to do. Call your shots, make up the shots when needed. And then last target, we got 2 alphas. So that was very controlled movement, controlled shooting. So let's speed it up a little bit. That time was 278, and I think we can get a little bit faster. More aggressive shooting, more aggressive on the targets. All A's here, or more aggressive on the movement, I mean. All A's there. We had a total time of 2.11 seconds. This target here drifted up a little bit, shot at Charlie. And on this one as well, as I was making my transition over, shot at Charlie first, and then my second shot was an alpha here. So I'm allowing myself to start shooting before I get the dot to where I need it to be. So when we're focusing on transitions and we're applying all the fundamentals throughout this drill, make sure we're picking this point out on the target. So you can set this drill up in a numerous or variety of ways. You can set up different targets and change the drill however you want, but just focus on those fundamentals when you're shooting on the move. So again, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Team GLOCK University. We have a lot of information to cover and we have a lot more stuff coming. So as always, we'll see you next time on the range.